Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thrive for Life Live. I'm your host, Dr. Alicia Shelly, and today we're going to be talking about the newest criteria for bariatric surgery. But before we get to the criteria, let's just talk about who would qualify or who should consider bariatric surgery. Now, when we look at having obesity, we already know it's a chronic disease. It's something that can continue to come up, similar to diabetes, high blood pressure. With any of these particular conditions, most people will treat them. Like if they need to, if they need medications, they take it in order to get it controlled. And the same is with obesity. There are multiple reasons why people gain weight. Sometimes it can be genetic. Sometimes it can be environmental. Sometimes it could be neurobehavioral, like depression, anxiety, things of that nature that can increase it. Sometimes it can be endocrine. Like, for example, if somebody has a low thyroid or hypothyroidism, they can increase their weight. And other times it can be medication. So certain medications can cause you to have weight gain, like steroids, birth control, insulin. These are just a few of the medications that can increase your weight. So everyone's different in why they gain weight, and there's more to it than just, move more and eat less. And sometimes even with everything that we have, as far as knowing which healthy habits are good, like lifestyle change, even taking medications, people still would need surgery. And surgery is a tool. And sometimes I've had patients that feel like surgery is a cop-out. Like, for example, they feel like, oh, I'm just taking the easy route by getting surgery. But that's not true. When someone undergoes bariatric surgery, they are basically, either depending on which surgery they get, they can restrict how much food they eat. It can lead to some malabsorption depending on which type. But it is because they've gotten to a point where everything else has not worked. And so therefore they are undergoing bariatric surgery. And so I want to tell you that it is not a cop-out. This is just another tool to help you in living a healthier life. Because like I said, everyone has a different story on why they gain weight. And for some people, it's quite difficult to lose weight. When we look at the percentages, how much weight people will lose with diet and exercise, on average, it usually can be 5 to 10% of their weight loss. And then with medications, it can be between 10 to 15%. But even with bariatric surgery, it can be 30 to 35% of weight loss. And some people lose more, some people lose less, but those are the averages. So if you have a large amount of weight to lose, definitely bariatric surgery can be a tool that you can use. And so now onto the latest indications. So in the fall of 2022, the American Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery Society released recommendations on the latest criteria. So for those who have no metabolic conditions like high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, they recommend that they have a BMI of greater than or equal to 35 in order to undergo bariatric surgery. Now, if somebody has a BMI between the 30 and 34 with metabolic disease like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, then they too, with that BMI, would be a candidate for bariatric surgery. And if they are of the Asian population, if they have a BMI greater than or equal to 27.5, then they would be indicated for bariatric surgery. So let me repeat that. To be a candidate for bariatric surgery, it's recommended to have a BMI of either greater than 35 if you have no metabolic conditions, or a BMI between 30 and 34 with metabolic conditions. And if you are part of the Asian population, your BMI can be greater than or equal to 27.5. And so those are the latest guidelines. Now, I do feel that it's important that you speak with your primary care doc, your bariatric surgeon, your obesity medicine doc, to make sure you're a good candidate. If those who aren't familiar with the process of bariatric surgery, usually it entails you to do a seminar to start where you learn more about the procedures, more about the process. Usually after the first seminar, you will meet with the surgeon and they will go through your history. They'll take your history and all their different medical conditions, surgeries, allergies, social history. They'll take all of that and then talk to you about the bariatric surgery and answer all your questions. Usually after that, they wanted you to get multiple clearances from the cardiologist, then to the pulmonologist, Also, for some people, they haven't had a sleep study. They say you need to get a sleep study. And then they normally will want to look down your throat and do an endoscopy or EGD in order to make sure you're a good candidate for bariatric surgery. And then last but not least, they would like a consultation. And usually you have to get a note or a letter from your primary care. And once you have all of these clearances, they usually they will submit all the information to the insurance, and the insurance will either approve or deny you. Now, the one thing you want to check before you go through the process is to make sure that your insurance covers bariatric surgery, because not all insurances do. And so making sure that you know what to expect, it will kind of reduce any heartache. Because I've had people where they thought their insurance covered, but they went through the entire process and learned that their insurance does not cover bariatric surgery. And that was disappointing for all of us involved. So it's important that you at least make sure and do your due diligence before you go and spend time and money going to these different doctors to get clearance. Now, I hope that helps with the latest guidelines. I look forward to seeing you next week for the Thrive for Life Live. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer, feel free to leave it in the comments, and that question may be the next Thrive for Life Live. And before I go, if you want to check out my podcast, please feel free to go to the Back on Track Achieving Healthy Weight Loss podcast, where we talk more not only about bariatric surgery, but about other ways how people can live a healthier and happier life. All right. Have a great day.